Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bitter Rivals podcast. This is episode 91. I am host along with co-host Avery, or I am Avery Rausch. This is Gitano Gallo. Sorry, fumbling my words a little bit there. It's been a long day. So sorry we could not get this to you last night at 7 p.m. like we normally do on Sundays. As you know, there was a Leafs game on yesterday, so that was part of the reason we wanted to maybe catch that in there. And we also, together, went out on Saturday night and were totally not.
We were in zero condition to record.
We were not recording a podcast yesterday. There was no way that a podcast was getting recorded yesterday. So here we are. We are here today on a Monday coming at you. Probably be a little bit late. What do you think? You're going to get this up by 8, 9?
At some point. At some point Monday night it'll be up.
Some point Monday night. Anyway. Yeah, not a whole lot going on this week. Wow. Can you believe it? I curveball, man. Totally thrown at me. The Leafs are playing Tampa in the first round, like locked in. Did you know that?
Who would have
thought that was even possible? It's not like we've known that since November. Like,
have they confirmed home ice yet, or is it just
no, not confirmed home ice, but we're probably going to have home ice. Like, we would have to lose like everything, I think, to not get home ice at this point. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Lost last night to the Detroit Red Wings. That was a tough one. The Leafs did not play well. Nedeljkovic played fantastic. Actually, they did play reasonably well. They kind of got fucked. Matt Murray's out now again. So
yeah, that was a rough watch. That looked real ugly.
It's just, I don't get it, man. That's such a freak injury to happen. Why does it happen to the guy who just gets injured 24/7? Like,
because that's exactly who it's supposed to happen to. Avery.
Like, he can't play 3 games without getting hurt. He actually can't play. Like, I would like to know. I don't know, but I would like to know what his longest stretch of games without being injured this year has been, because it's not been a long time. Like,
yeah, I'll say it can't be more than like 3 or 4.
It's unreal, man. It's absolutely unreal. And it seems like if that happens to Samsonov, he just like shakes it off, gets up, and does his thing. And I get it's a concussion; it's not that easy. Yeah. But if that happens to Samsonov, I don't think, like, for whatever reason, Matt Murray smokes his head off the ice. I don't think Samsonov smokes his head off the ice. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it always happens to him. If Samsonov gets run, it's fine. Like, he's just fine after. But if Murray gets run, he's got a fucking torn ACL.
So you might as well get the stretch out. Yeah.
Broken ribs, broken finger. Like, it's amazing how much this guy gets hurt. And everybody thought that was going to be the issue coming in. And lo and behold, it's the issue. Like, big issue.
I mean, that was as a not Leafs fan. Part of that was the injuries, but also I didn't think he would play well when he wasn't injured, which he, like, that, at least that side of the coin's been fine. Like, he has played well when he's been healthy.
Yes, he's a good goalie when he's healthy. He was even a good goalie in Ottawa when he was healthy. And Ottawa, as we know, is not a very good defensive team, specifically in years prior to this one. They're not good this year, but they were even worse prior to this. So, yeah, it's so frustrating. It really is, because it's not like all of our eggs are in his basket. Like, if it were me, Samsonov's the starter in game 1, even if they're both 100% healthy. But, I mean, like,
to not even have him as an option.
Come on. Like, it's over and over and over again. And this poor Joseph Woll kid's just up and down and up and down and up and down. Like, I don't know. I hope that it doesn't cost more than the third we were given to take that contract to get rid of it for a year. That's I guess the only hope. The other thing that came out of last night's game, and is a very, very big topic among sports shows this morning, as well as talk shows all day, and that is Michael Bunting. And Sheldon Keefe insinuated last night after the game that he feels like, I don't know how I bet on this sport. Like, I bet real dollars on this sport on occasion, in moderation.
Yeah, you're not a total degenerate.
Not a total degenerate. Halfway there, but not a total degenerate. Anyway, Sheldon Keefe stated that he believes the referees have have an agenda against Bunting.
100%.
That's like really, really bad for officials to have an agenda against a player for what?
But I mean,
I'm not sure.
I'll say, like, the thing is, like, I can think of like a handful of players who are in the same boat as Michael Bunting. Nazem Kadri, off the top of my head, Andrew Shaw, both in Chicago and Montreal. Like, just those agitators. They play, even Tom Wilson, that
Did you
play
see the
just
penalty?
super hard.
Did you see the penalty that Bunting took? The 10-minute misconduct first. Actually, we'll go there first.
For kicking the stick away.
It was stuck in his skate blade.
Was it like it was like in the thing?
Yes.
Okay. So I only saw the video of him, like, it like just looked like he was kicking it away, and I'm like, that's a really weak 10, but like, if the game's getting to that point, I understand.
The game was not getting to that point. The only thing that would even insinuate that the game was to that point was when, I don't even remember the Detroit player, but Michael Bunting legit eats 3 cross checks in the back.
Yeah.
Like 3.
And they went 4-on-4.
And they went 4-on-4 with an embellishment penalty to Bunting.
Yeah.
Like, just, there's no way that that's an embellishment penalty. He gets cross-checked in the back, like right in the numbers, in the middle of the ice, right in front of the referee, multiple times.
Yeah, and that's things. I don't want to, because I don't want to take away from what Keith said, because 100% Bunting is the type of player that gets even Brendan Gallagher. Honestly, it's stepped back a little, but definitely like in the like mid 20 teens, like, yeah, Gallagher could get a penalty for breathing on the ice.
It's unbelievable. Like, I'm like, and if that happens in Game 7 against Tampa, I will cry. I'll puke. I'll never watch the NHL. Yeah, I will, but.
And here's the thing is, I'd love to, like, comfort you and be like, oh, it won't happen, but there's no guarantee.
No,
like the refs.
I have no. I'm almost more sure that it will than it won't. To be honest with you, just the way that the league has officiated that guy specific, like the league, the officiating, we've talked about it at length. In the league sucks. It's awful. It's like the worst in all of sports. But on God, if that happens in Game 7, man, I will freak out.
I know you will.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what came out of the Detroit game last night. Nedeljkovic had a game, like I said earlier. Samsonov had a game, actually, considering that he had to come in cold because Murray got hurt.
Yeah.
But I like where Samsonov's at. He threw up a donut against the Senators the night before, so that was good to see. That was a very, very good win by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Everybody contributed. Love to see it. Yeah, and I honestly, I'm not even remembering right now what games they played prior to that. So let's move into the Hab conversation.
Yeah, so again, a pretty quiet week. Actually, so the week actually started off pretty hectic with a 4-3 shootout win over the Buffalo Sabres. And like the talk when Gary Bettman was like, yeah, like coaches and players aren't like throwing games and tanking. I kind of think he's full of shit, because in this Buffalo Montreal game, Marty St. Louis played a power play of Alex Belzile, Jake Evans, I think Sean Farrell might played on it, and like he basically threw out all like the third and fourth liners for the power plays because he was like, fuck it, why not? And then in the shootout, after Suzuki and Harvey Pinard shot, he went Matheson, Kovacevic, Ullinen, and then for the win, Michael Pezzetta. So like, you can't tell me that he's like that Marty St. Louis trying to win that game. You can't. We did, and Pezzetta scored the winner and rode his stick Dave the Tiger Williams style in Buffalo, by the way, which I'm surprised he made it out alive. But yeah, it was a fun way to start the week. The boys were definitely hyped up about that one. Probably a highlight of the season in Montreal and maybe across the league. That celebration, so good. So good. And then followed up with losses to Philadelphia and the Panthers, and then on Saturday night getting slapped by Carolina.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. It was a roller coaster of a week in Montreal. Let's put it that way.
Oh, and like 4 more guys are put on season-ending IR.
Yeah, but they're not
That's
trying
great.
to lose. They're not trying.
No.
Why would they?
Well, I mean, okay, like Belzile has a fractured leg. Like, I don't think that's a.
What do you got? A hangnail on your pinky finger? Yeah, shut her down. Shut her down. Shut her down. Literally. Anyway,
Yeah.
the games that I were forgetting was a 3-2 win in Nashville and a 3-2 overtime loss in a game that I think the Leafs played fantastic in. I completely forgot about that game. But we're beat by the Panthers 3-2 in overtime, which was a brutal giveaway by Tavares in overtime. He should not be on the ice in overtime. I love John Tavares, but that is not what he's good at.
Man, I was looking. Someone tweeted like the stats of like, the Leafs plus minus in 3-on-3 overtime, and like him and Nylander, I think, were like -10 each. And like,
Yeah,
bro, like how do you see 3-on-3 time if you're minus
they should
10?
not. Nylander, yes. Nylander, because he scored a couple of wild overtime goals this year. But John Tavares, honest to God, like he should not see the ice in overtime. There's no way that is the right decision in any case in 3-on-3 overtime. He is not fast enough to keep up.
It reminds me of when Shea Weber would play in like 3-on-3, and I was just like, I love he was our best defenseman, love him to bits, our captain, but for the love of God, do not put him on the ice in 3-on-3.
Like he's a skates in cement. Like what else do you want to say? They skate in cement. They're old guys, never been
not built for it.
Never been fleet of foot. Like, even as an 18-year-old, John Tavares was not a fast skater. I remember when I saw the Islanders play in Detroit one time on a hockey tournament. That is the one takeaway I had from that game is, wow, John Tavares is slow. And that was like 10 years ago, man.
Yeah, and he definitely did not get faster.
No. But anyway, he's a great, like, around the net, fantastic hockey player.
Yeah.
You want him on the boards, like in the half wall, battling for a puck? Unreal. One of the best of the game. Tipping pucks? Unreal stuff. In tight, like I just said, for around the net, like one of the best. But why would you do that to him? Why are you putting him out there against the fastest guys in the league?
Like you're setting him up to fail.
Yes.
You're just setting him up to get burned.
Yes. So it's like, yeah, absolutely. Anyway, moving on. Not a whole lot else to talk about in the league this week. I mean, there's a pretty tight race going on in the West. That's been interesting to see. The East feels like it's been decided for like really ever. Nothing's really
other than like the last wild card spot.
The final wild card, yeah. Who's still up for that? So Pittsburgh, Washington,
so New York, the Islanders and Pittsburgh are in the 2 wild card spots right now. So the Islanders have 87 points with 4 games left. The Penguins have 86 points with 5 games left.
Okay, and who's behind them?
So then Florida's got 85 points with 5 games left. The Sabres have 81 points, but they have 8 games left. And the Senators are probably the only other team that could get in there, and they have 80 points with 5 games left.
How do the Sabres have 8 games left?
I have no idea.
That's kind of wild, no? Have they just like not played hockey this year?
I guess.
Wow. Anyway, so yeah, we're starting to really see what the playoffs are going to look like when they do come around. It's going to be interesting, and there's going to be a lot of heavyweight matchups. I would contest. I think that seeing how like Toronto's favored everywhere against Tampa in this series, and obviously like that makes me feel good about their chances because you'd rather be favored than the dog always. But want to know what I'm like kind of amazed at?
What?
Do me a favor. Look up the Tampa Bay depth chart.
Are we going to talk about their defense?
Yeah, we are going to talk about their defense.
Because we talked about. I think the left side is all right.
It's certainly eye-opening here. So,
are you on Daily Faceoff by chance? Because we're looking at the same one.
Well, I'm on CBS, but I can head over to Daily Faceoff if we want to support Sarah Valley here.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
love Sarah Valley.
Here we go. So the left side, sure. We got Hedman, Sergachev. Ian Cole's not good, but
I mean, for a third pairing guy, like
Hedman and Sergachev, those are very, very good hockey players. Hedman's had a bad year. Sergachev's been hurting people all year, but that's what he does anyway. Let's talk about this right side. Nicholas Perbix. Who the fuck is that?
I've literally no idea. I was going to start with Chernak and say him and Cole as a third pairing is totally fine. There's no issue with that. That's a great third pairing. But who the fuck is Nicholas Perbix playing with Victor Hedman?
Who's Darren Radish?
What was the? Because I know he's not the Hound that the guy
Taylor
that played in the Stew. Yeah,
Taylor
but is it like his like shitty defenseman brother?
I don't know. I have no idea who these guys are. And I guess that's why Toronto's favored in this series.
Yeah, like.
But like, I don't like I don't like this defense here. What I'm looking at here, these 6 guys in front of me, I don't like their chances against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I just don't.
I like the left-hand side's chances. I don't think the right side stands a chance.
Like I said to you, Victor Hedman has had a very bad year. He has not been Victor Hedman this year. Trust me, he is on my fantasy team. He has been awful, like a shell of himself.
8 goals, 37 assists, 129 blocks, playing about 24 minutes a night. Yeah, that's not great.
No, not for Victor Hedman. Did you say under 40 assists? We're talking about 30, a guy
37.
So under 40 assists.
Yeah.
Did I say 30? I meant 40.
No, you said 40, but I mean 37's not off. It's pretty close. It's under 40, but it's close.
That's not Victor Hedman numbers though, man. It just doesn't. I'm looking here. Their first power play unit has Sergachev on it, not Hedman. Never in a million years did I think I would ever see that.
And Sergachev's sitting on 9 goals, 50 assists, 144 blocks, and he's playing about 24 minutes a night as well.
And now I'm just going to move into their bottoms. Do you know what? Let's just talk about their forward group as a whole. Obviously, Kucherov, Stamkos, and Braden Point. Those are some good hockey players. We understand that. Brandon Hagel is not that good of a hockey player. Brandon Hagel is not better than, call it, William Nylander. Nick Paul is a significant downgrade on John Tavares at that 2C spot.
Yeah.
Ross Colton, whether you want to talk about Yarncroke, Kerfoot, or Bunting, or whoever, downgrade, if you're comparing them to the Leafs. The top line, I would even say, it's tough, but...
The top lines are at least comparable.
The top lines are comparable, yes.
Yeah.
I would say they, as a whole, we have the best player, Matthews, but we also have the second best player, who's Marner. The third best player is probably Kucherov. The next 3.
Yeah.
It goes Matthews, Marner, those 3, Bunting, is what I would call that line. Because I think game 1, it's going to be Matthews, Marner, Bunting. Or I could also see it being Yarncroke, because Matthews loves Yarncroke, and you just got to make that guy happy, and I think he did. Good things happen when he's happy. But
it doesn't matter who you put on that.
So now we've established that Leafs top 6 is better than Tampa's top 6. Now let's go to the bottom 6.
So the bottom 6 is where me and you are going to have some issues, because I 100% believe the Lightning's bottom 6 is better than Toronto.
This bottom 6 cannot compare to the Leafs bottom 6. Like it's the Leafs bottom 6 is way better than this bottom 6.
I don't think so.
So we can do this.
Yeah. Well, I'm pulling up the Toronto one right now. Don't worry.
Yeah. Aston Reese, Camp, Lafferty. You're right. Lafferty has been pitiful. I'll give you that. Lafferty's been pitiful. But want to know who's been worse? Tanner Jeannot has been worse.
Has he actually?
Tanner Jeannot has 1 goal since joining the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay, sorry. So the stats I'm looking at, I forgot that he got traded there because it's just his full season stats. which I mean
Yeah.
still aren't great, but
No, they're really bad. So here, I'm getting my computer all set up here with
hey,
the side to side comparisons, and it's
like
going really.
if we're talking about like the group that it's showing on Daily Face-Off, there's not a chance.
Okay, no, we're not talking about. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, hear me out. Aston Reese, goodbye. Sam Lafferty, goodbye. That third line is centered by Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah.
With Noel Acciari on the wing and one of Kerfoot, Kampf, or Bunting on the other wing.
Yeah. So
Whoever...
you've said Bunting's gonna be on the top line, so let's keep him there.
No, I'm gonna go Yarncroke on the top line.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
So
Bunting on this line, and I'm going to go Kerfoot playing with Tavares and Nylander. So now you have Acciari, O'Reilly, Bunting, third line, and that leaves you with David Kampf, who to me is one of the best shutdown centers in the NHL. The defensive zone starts that guy wins is just crazy to me. And then, so you can go Kampf, Lafferty, and this is fourth line minutes now we're talking. Kampf, Lafferty, and like you can go Zach Aston Reese. You can throw Nick Abruzzese in there. If it's a rough series, Wayne Simmons goes in there. There's so many options. And I don't know, man.
I look at a line surely between Maroon and Killorn, and I'm like, that's just a playoff line. Like that line is just going to beat you down and still score on you. And
they're matched up against Ryan O'Reilly, Noel Acciari, and Michael Bunting.
Yeah, and they're gonna beat the living shit out of them.
Better than Cirelli. Michael Bunting, way significantly better than Patrick Maroon. Like heads and shoulders better than Patrick Maroon. Like don't even talk to me. Noel Acciari is a much more playoff built player than Alex Killorn is. That the third line is not even a comparison, dude.
I think you're significantly underestimating Tampa here.
Nope. No, I'm looking at these rosters right here, and I'm telling you right now, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in every facet except for goaltending are significantly better than Tampa Bay.
I think that is a load of horseshit, Ave. A part of me doesn't even think that you believe it. You're putting on the show because you have to.
No,
not just for the bitter rivals, but as a Leafs fan, you have to put on the show of it's our year, we're the best.
I'm telling you right now.
I think there's a part of you that's sitting there going, we're not that much better than Tampa if we are at all.
I wholeheartedly believe that we are that much better than Tampa. I really do believe that. That is not me talking for this show. That is not me talking as a Leafs fan. That is me as a hockey guy looking at these two lineups and thinking you would be absolutely crazy to think that this Tampa Bay lineup is better than this Toronto Maple Leafs lineup. Other than the goalie. I'll give you the goalie.
There's a reason why we haven't had to discuss goaltending. Because we don't have to.
There is zero reason to discuss goaltending here. Andrei Vasilevsky, specifically in the playoffs after losing a game, does not lose hockey games.
Yeah.
It's if you can't beat him twice in a row, you're not going to beat him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Tampa's tired too. It's been so long that they've been playing hockey.
I think in the regular season, they're tiring out. I think once the playoffs hit, you get the Stanley Cup playoff badge on your fucking shirt and on the ice, like that. It's like that. You can't teach it. It's that instinct of we're just here to fucking win. 16 wins and we were fucking done. I think that kicks in for them. They've been there. I think they turn it up, and not they run through the Maple Leafs, but they definitely win this series, 100%.
That's crazy that you're actually picking them to win. That's
100%.
Look at this team. I'm sorry, but no. They're just not that good. They're not as good as they have been in the past. We perform better than them in this regular season. We've beaten them head to head. We are the better.
But you haven't beaten them in the playoffs this year, and that's all that matters. And I think Tampa is
idiot.
no. No, I get that. But what I'm saying is that when the playoffs come around, Tampa's bringing their game. They're not just cranking it up 1 or 2 levels. They're bringing it up 10 levels. And I don't think anything can fucking stop them. Like, they're just that fucking good.
Well, Colorado
Also, the last...
stopped them last year. What are you talking about? Nothing.
Yeah, in Colorado, well, they were a fucking juggernaut last year. It was literally that, like we talked about it as like one of the first times that we can remember that the legitimate 2 best teams in the league played in a cup final.
I don't know, man.
And it took a Colorado super team to do it. I don't think the Leafs have it in them. I just don't.
Well, I can't wait to tell you you're wrong. I can't wait for you to be wrong, because I'm telling you, this Tampa team is not this Tampa team is not going to be able to do what they did to the Leafs last year. The Leafs are better and they're worse, and it was that slim of a margin last year. That slim, like this. And we're better and they're worse. And it really, for me, that's what it comes down to. We have better goaltending than we did last year.
I thought you were going to say them. And I was going to be like, hey, if we just went over this.
No. We have better defense, like 1 through 6, than we did last year. We have better forwards, 1 through 12, than we did last year. And I would say the exact opposite for them. And just how slim of a margin, like an idiot referee calling Justin Holl for an interference penalty margin we're talking here, is what we lost by to them last year. And that margin is going to be much wider in the Leafs' favor this year. And just based on the players on the team, man. Based on the players on the team. That's just what it comes down to. You've brought playoff grit in here, but the right kind of playoff grit. Ryan O'Reilly and Nola Chari. You've brought in Luke Schenn, a guy who is known as the human eraser. You're telling me that's not going to be a playoff? He won a Stanley Cup with Tampa Bay.
Did he actually?
Yes.
I don't even remember that.
You don't remember him playing for Tampa Bay, or you don't remember him winning a Stanley Cup?
I don't remember him playing for Tampa.
Oh, he played for Tampa. Now you're making me second guess myself, but he definitely played for Tampa. Come on.
Because it was the other Schenn won one in St. Louis, right?
Yeah. He won 2.
Both in Tampa?
1920 and 2021.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I do not remember him playing for Tampa.
Yeah, man. He went from the Leafs to Philly to the Kings for a year, to Arizona for 2 years, to Anaheim for a year, to Vancouver for a year, to Tampa for 2, back to Vancouver for 2, back to Toronto.
Okay, so that's probably where I got confused. I'm like, I knew he played in Vancouver, and I knew he left Vancouver to go to Toronto. So yeah, just it's zoned out. Yeah.
Anyway, why does it do that? The NHL website's weird. I fully lied to you. He wasn't in Vancouver. So he went from Anaheim to Vancouver probably at the deadline because Vancouver thought they were good in 18. And then he signed with Tampa Bay, it looks like, in that offseason. For 2 years. He was there. Won 2 Stanley Cups.
Okay, yeah. So 18-19, he played 18 games for Vancouver. Yeah, left from Anaheim. Then played 19-20 and 20-21 in Tampa, and then signed back in Vancouver for 21-22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's played in the playoffs 4 times. Once for Philly, once for LA, and twice for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Both of which, like I said,
he played like 8 and 11 games. What the fuck? I do not even in the cup final. I don't remember him being there.
Yeah, well, he was.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna argue that he wasn't. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I don't. That was kind of at the downturn of his career. I feel like he's even gotten better since then.
I think probably the downturn of his career was probably playing in fucking Arizona and Anaheim.
Yeah.
Looking at the numbers anyways.
Yeah, that's actually fair. Anyway, that's enough about Luke Schenn. Moral of the story, I think he's a dog. And I think that that's the kind of guy that the Leafs are going to need in this playoff series. I think a guy like like TJ Brody is going to be immeasurably important this year. I think guys on the bottom pair like Justin Holt, Timothy Liljegren, Connor Timmins, I think they're all going to have to play a role at some point in this series. I don't think it's going to be the same 6 guys every night. I don't even think it'll be 6 guys every night if Keith has anything to say about it. He'll go 11-7 and not care, not give a fuck. He doesn't care. So I don't know. Like I said, we've gone on about this for about 15 minutes now, but the Leafs are beating Tampa this year. It's happening. They're going to the second round, and they're going to lose to Boston.
I mean, I think, yeah. Well, no, they're not getting out of the first round, but I think everyone's losing to Boston. I think that a Tampa-Boston second round series is going to be fucking nuts.
Well, it's not going to happen. Anyway, I think that's all that we have for this week, unless you have something else to get off your chest, Mr. Gallo.
There's nothing else I can think of. It was a pretty quiet week around the league. So, what do the Leafs have this week?
So, coming up this week, the Leafs are, I forget if they're in, nope, they host the Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow, 7 p.m., followed by a big matchup against the Boston Bruins in Boston on Thursday. Habs Leafs Saturday night. I think, what am I doing this Saturday night? I feel like I have something.
Nothing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like I had something, but it's Easter.
Yeah. Oh shit. Easter Sunday. Still putting out an episode, probably.
We'll see. We'll see, because that's going to be a busy day for Avery.
Okay, so it might be another Monday one next week then. Let's just get it out here right now that it might be a Monday.
Potentially a Monday one next week as well.
Yeah. Obviously, we will keep you, the listeners, informed on Twitter and Instagram.
Oh yeah, because I also have an assignment due that day. No, we're Monday
for sure. Okay.
Monday.
Right.
Yeah. So just the Saturday night game against the Habs in Toronto.
Yeah. So we've got the Red Wings visiting Montreal tomorrow night, the Capitals visiting on Thursday night, and then in Toronto on Saturday for the big one. Also, only 2 games. Like, we have 5 games left. We have 2 games left after that. And that's like heartbreaking.
Yeah, we'll only have 3. See, I'm interested to kind of see what the Leafs are going to do, because I just want to touch on the schedule for this week. They did not, like, Marner did not play last night. They had multiple. They had Giordano sitting out, I believe. I forget who else, but they had a couple guys sitting.
McCabe sat.
Did he?
I'm like pretty sure I saw that.
Maybe. Anyway, regardless, load management type stuff, NBA type stuff. I want to see how they're going to play that game against Boston on Thursday. I don't care what they do against Columbus. Columbus is a dumpster fire, but
you guys played. Oh, you're gonna fucking smoke them. They're so bad.
They're so
put up an 8. We put up an 8 spot on them.
Yeah,
like that's how bad they are.
Yeah, like below the CHL and Johnny Gaudreau. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they're going to do against Boston lineup wise and against Tampa. Right? Like, do they show their cards in that they play Tampa the following week on the Tuesday? It'll be their second last game. What do they do there? Do they keep their cards here? Do they sit everybody play the AHL team?
It entirely depends if you've clinched home ice or not.
Yeah.
If you've clinched home ice, fuck it, you can play the AHL team. If you haven't, I think you have to go for it.
Yeah, you gotta go all hands on deck. That's for sure. I think we will have clinched by that point, though.
Yeah. I just off the top of my head, I don't know the math for it, but like, I can take a quick look. Like they're 4 points behind. 4 points behind, but they have a game in hand, so it's really only 2 points. So like, that's close.
That's tight. Anyway, I think that's all we have to talk about this week. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you to the Game Entertainment and Media for hosting us. And we are out of here. We will catch you next Monday, we've established. Maybe 7 p.m., probably not, because Gitano works until 6, so it'll be another late Monday-ish. Unless, do you get Easter Monday? No, you don't get any time off. I know that. Why did I ask?
I got Friday.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening. We will see you next week.